So, bitcoins. I bet you've heard of them. You may not know what they are. They're basically money. And to understand bitcoins and to understand why people are so fascinated by them and why their price is skyrocketing, you have to understand money. So let's have a really, really quick economics, baby economics 101 lesson. You got three people, A, B, and C. B works for A. B, in other words, B gives A certain number of B's hours in B's life. A pays B money. So what does B do? B goes over to C and buys an object that B needs. So look what money does. A probably didn't have that object, but C did. But C didn't want B's labor. In other words, you couldn't barter. Money allows us to very freely exchange time for goods and services. That's basically what it's at, where it's at. Now, the interesting thing about money, all money is controlled by governments. And a lot of people think that's kind of weird nowadays with, the global economy. Why couldn't you just have a money that just existed? Well, you'd have to worry about counterfeiting it, just as governments worry about counterfeiting it. And you would have to worry about controlling it and stuff like that. So, enter Bitcoin, which is essentially cyber money. Now, how do people get Bitcoin? Well, basically the same way that people get any other kind of money. You get Bitcoin from friends. You can online giveaways or buying stuff with real money. In other words, trading real money for the Bitcoin money, which kind of defeats the purpose. You can also do what's called mining, which is basically using your computer and your computer expertise to create, basically to solve mathematical problems, to create Bitcoins with. A Bitcoin is not a real thing. Of course, money is actually not a real thing when you think about it. I mean, I'm an American, the dollar, the greenback, that's not real. It's not even a symbol of something real. It's a symbol of the good faith and credit of the United States of America. Well, we see where that's going lately, right? Used to be that money had to be represented by a certain amount of gold that the United States owned, but back in the 70s we were taking off the gold standard. So, in a way, Bitcoin and money, the same thing. It's just that Bitcoin is a resident encrypted mathematical problem somewhere, essentially. And money, greenbacks, well, most of your money, like when you get paid, if you have direct deposit from your work and you get paid from work, did they hand you a bunch of greenbacks and you took those over to the bank and gave the bank the paper money? No, that's not the way it happened. All they did was just say, hey, add a certain amount of this, just add that number to that person's account. So, looks like money, a lot of money is cyber currency too. The real difference between Bitcoin and what we call money, again, is that money is controlled by governments and it's also regulated by governments, and your ownership of the money is not anonymous. Whereas your ownership of Bitcoin can be anonymous. So, how do you make money with Bitcoin? Well, arbitrage. In other words, it's essentially Forex, foreign exchange trading. Buying Bitcoin, watching the price go up. Price is going down, shorting Bitcoin. In other words, you buy and sell it just like you do any other investment. That's my little treatise about Bitcoin, and thank you so much.